Hey guys, well, I made it to day 2. I definitely could feel that I worked out yesterday, which is good, but not enough to where I can't work out today. So as you see, I'm starting with my stretches again, my thighs, my arms, my neck, back, my calves, shoulders, waist, pretty much everything that can be stretched, I stretch. It's probably one of the best parts of the workout. And as you get going in your routines, you will feel less and less tight. And today I felt better than I did yesterday, but I have a long way to go. Next, I start my little circuit. I do my squats, and then my calf raises, and then my wall sits. And like I said, when I'm in it pretty good, I can do about 100 squats, 100 of each little set. But I've started slow yesterday, and I think I did about 30 squats yesterday, and 20 squats yesterday, and today I bumped it up to 30. So I'm inching my way up there, but I would do like 4 sets of 25 to make it 100. But it's not bad today. I'm not really feeling any discomfort or pain other than my waist and a little bit in my shoulders. But my legs, my thighs don't hurt too bad, so I was able to add a little more time to my squats. And squats are my all-time least favorite exercise to do. I don't know why, but they are. But I know I need them to build strength, and it's just something that has to be done. And you see I have my cats there to help me. Duncan's watching me like a little guard, and Leo's on the table protecting me from danger. Now I'm moved on to my side bends, and yesterday I told you it was 25 pounds, but I looked today and it's about 18 pounds. There's a random little 4.4 pound on there. 4.4 pound weight on there, that it's like a 18 something pounds total. But I do it, I slowed it up a little so you could see. I'd start with like 10 half bends, and then I do a full bend, and I usually do about 30 of those, but since I was sore today, I only did 25. Then I go down for my planks and my push-ups. Like I said, my shoulders were a little achy from yesterday's push-ups, so I did 30 yesterday, and today I could only push out about 20. But I also know that I have my arm workouts coming next, so I don't want to overexert myself today so that I'm in pain tomorrow. But you see that I throw a few stretches in after basically everything I do, just to keep from injury, keep from straining myself, and it feels good. Now I do I learned the word that I couldn't figure out yesterday. What I'm doing right now is called the fire hydrant, like when a dog pees on a fire hydrant. And then donkey kicks. And the last part of this is called bridge. I called it, yesterday I called it pelvic thrust, but that was wrong. It's called a bridge. And you'll see I do that right before my sit-ups. Normally I could do about 40 a leg for each of those exercises that I mentioned, but I'm only up to 25 right now. And believe me, I feel it, but I don't want to push it. And now I'm doing my bridge, and I think I did 30 of those. Those are not as hard for me as the other ones. And now I'll do my sit-up video that I do. It's about 15 minutes. And yesterday was lower abs. Today is a little bit of lower abs and focusing on the sides which is hard today because I told you I can feel it from yesterday from my side bends. And one of the best waist whittlers is walking, but unfortunately I can't do that due to my past foot surgeries and my foot issues, so I can't really add too much walking into my day. So I struggle a little bit with the middle section, trying to find exercises to help me keep that at bay, without hurting my feet by pushing it too much. Later in this video, I decided to just talk about some things that were on my mind, and I'll explain what kind of issues I had with my foot and why I can't push it and how I used to love doing it. And now you just have to kind of find alternatives. But now I'm at the end of my sit-ups, and I'll put my mat away and do my... I was going to try another set of push-ups, but I couldn't do it. Now I'm going to do my arm exercises, and I have an app that I follow. It just basically, the weights I use are 5, 8, and 10, and the app will just show me an exercise and count down for me, and you can kind of see I keep looking at the timer because I'm like, is it done yet? Am I done? Am I close? But again, once I get into it, it's amazing how I can just pump right through all these with no problem. But it's kind of interesting to see me struggle on day 2. But every day you get stronger, and every day you can push out a little more. And I'm looking forward to that when, one day I'm like, oh wow, I actually did 75 push-ups today or whatever. But there's Leo again giving me some support. And like I said, when I'm done with this, I'm going to do the 30 minutes on the bike, but instead of showing the time-lapsed version of it, I'm going to just talk about some things that were on my mind, things that I think everybody in our age group can relate to and understand. And I also have an update on Rob. If you've been watching my other videos, my boyfriend Rob has been dealing with some medical issues, and today is December 31st and we have an update. And guess that is about it. I guess in closing, I'll talk about some of the equipment that I have that I don't use. I use my weights and the bike. I don't really use anything else down there except maybe that, I think it's called a gravity board, and that you lay on and it goes upside down, and it kind of relieves the pressure in your, if you feel tight or like you need to be stretched. And that thing, I use that once in a while. That really feels, you actually hang from your ankles. Okay, well, I think that's it. I'm on my last plank, part of my arm routine, and I'm going to head on the bike. Hi guys. All right, I'm getting on the bike, but I decided instead of doing the time lapse, I was going to just talk about life. And since I realized that I really love to talk, might as well do it on here. But I was thinking about, so today, if you watched my video yesterday, today is day 2 and I did my arms. But so today was a little longer of a workout because of that. And even though I time-lapsed it just to fit in, my day 1 is usually like an hour and a half. Day 2 is probably 2 hours. And you can see I time lapse it, I stretch a lot. I stop, I stretch, I take time. I'm not like in a mad dash to, get done. That's why I like to work second shifts, because I can get up at a comfortable time and work out, not rush, I choose to work out at home as opposed to a gym. I've been to a gym many times, as everyone else. New Year, which today is the 31st, so New Year's a coming, but a lot of my life was spent, New Year, I'm going to join a gym, and I just never felt comfortable, I've never been a confident, let me take that back. I've always been confident, but I have never been full of myself to where, I don't know. I see women and girls in the gym and I wonder, are you there to work out or are you there to get the looks, Now that is not my thing. I want to work out, and working out isn't cute to me, you're sweating, you're huffing and puffing, and you're concentrating, you're counting, I don't know. So for me, I like to just do it here. Everywhere I've lived, I prefer to do it in my own space, whether it be my bedroom or the basement or whatever. Another thing is when I look for, try to get inspired by other people's videos, I notice that there is a lot of, I guess they're called lifestyle videos, that they're so unreachable for me. I can't relate, They either are very wealthy women, men, or they do this for a living, which is great, that's awesome to have literal professionals on here helping us, know what we're supposed to do. But it's the supposedly everyday, a day in my life, lifestyle people that I just can't relate to. And my goal, ever since I made this channel, whether it be in my meal prepping, or how I talk to my cats like a crazy person, or working out in my gross little dungeon basement, I wanted to be real. I didn't want, you read how you should make things look, and the lighting, and the editing and all that, and I'm like, for me, I don't look for any of that. I actually look for the kind of raw, unedited, real deal videos that I can be like, I know what that person's going through, or I have that old heater, and yeah, look at their walls are cracking like my walls are cracking. I don't know. I keep wanting to say the girl next door, but just someone that someone that you're familiar with. Everybody, no matter how high up you are, or wealthy or well off, has to know somebody, or possibly one time in their life was just like this. I'm not, there's no reason for me. I really have nothing to show off about. So that's first thing. Second thing is just, I'm in my, late 50s, and I struggle just like any of you. And it's hard to be in this age because you have to really focus on your weight and your shape, and staying strong, keeping your bones. I mentioned in my first video that I've had foot surgery. I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 foot surgeries. I don't know the terms of the first surgery I had, but I had pins in my toes, and it was corrective surgery, hereditary, and I wasn't experiencing any pain at the time, but you could tell that the way my feet had changed through the years, that I would have probably been in the same situation that my grandpa and my mom, they had terrible issues as they got older. So my second round of surgery was helix rigidus. Take that back. I only had that in one foot. I have helix rigidus, which is basically all my problems are with like joints, arthritis, things like that. I was a very avid walker. I would walk 4 miles a day, every day, and I loved it. And it really hurts my heart that I can't do it. Sure, I could do it, but I'll pay for it. And I'll pay for it maybe in the week or down the line. It's just overuse that I can't do. So as much as I love to go outside and walk, even 2 miles, I would love it. I really love it. And it helps so much in the waist and, the butt and the thighs, but I had to be creative and learn how to do other things because I just can't push it like that. And at my job, I walk about 15, sometimes 20,000 steps a day. And even though it's not like constant walk, I do get that many steps in a day. And that's just enough work in my joints of my feet. So you'll see in some of the workouts I do, my push-ups, I can't do a normal push-up where you're balanced on your toes. I can't do it. Yet I can do a plank where I'm balanced. I'm not sure why. I think it's because I can kind of put my feet out a little bit and not focus so much on the toes. But anyway, my whole reason for this is people, including myself, get intimidated when they look on YouTube and now separate yourself from the professionals on it that do this for a living, that are here to help. I'm just talking about the people that are like, oh, come work out with me or come cook with me, and their kitchens are, things that I could only dream of. Am I jealous? No, but I just can't relate. I can't understand that, It doesn't feel comfortable to me. Same with the working out, and you have this beautiful backdrop with the lake, and it's like, I don't know. So my point is, as you get older, you should customize your workouts. I've often got on YouTube and try to follow these people and try to, get the best butt and just follow her routine, get the best thighs, get the smallest weight. But these people aren't me. They don't have my issues, and I am not built like they are. So about 2 years ago, I have my list over there. I stared at myself in the mirror and I said, what do I want to change or fix? What am I okay with? I'll give you an example. I'm not one of those women that wants to be 120 pounds. I've always been kind of thick. I've always been curvy, I guess. I've never been just straight down, but 152, believe it or not, is my comfortable spot. And believe me, that's a lot bigger than most women. And I'm 5'6", so say I'm a big girl, but I'm strong, Now I've been 180, I've been almost 203 in my past. I've been down to 140. That was nice, I'm not gonna lie, but 152, right in there, is where I'm not uncomfortable in my clothes. I'm not always, checking my belly roll and all that. So that's just personally where I feel comfortable. I have a physical job, so I have to stay strong regardless. I can't be all frail. I have to keep my strength up in some form. I guess I could not work out and just depend on what I do, but I could then very well hurt myself. So what I did is I looked in the mirror and I thought, okay, what do I want to do with my chest? Well, I'm not real blessed there, but I was fine with that. But my arms, we're getting real flabby here. They still are. But so I'm like, what kind of exercise can I do that I won't quit on? So it was push-ups for me. Simple, basic, no weights, push-ups. And when I'm in a good routine, I can get up to 75, maybe even 100 a day. I break them up, but I can tell that I'd have like the shoulder, like the little curve there and here, you know, and I don't know the proper words. Again, I'm just a average woman. I don't know all these terms. This is not my life, but I just want to stay the best version of myself. Under here, you know, you see some of the weights that I did today, triceps, I think it is, but I just looked at all the different exercises and I thought, now there's one that I know I will do, that I won't, you know, set myself up for failure. Moving down, you know, my waist. I did my side bends, I do my sit-ups. Walking would be tremendous help, but I can't do that. So I've struggled a lot with the middle since I had to stop my walking. Backtrack a little bit. With the helix rigidus, it means that my joints are very arthritic and they're getting stiff. So I can't bend, you know, and I used to be in ballet, you know, and cheerleading and running around, but they don't bend like a normal joint does. So as the years go on, it gets stiffer and stiffer. I remember asking the doctor, well, what could I do so that I could keep walking? Like, it was so depressing that I couldn't walk without paying for it later. And he said the only thing I would be next up in line would be infusion. So it would be straight. I looked up that, I guess, yeah, people do have that and it can be worked with, but I don't want to do that. I just don't. I really don't want any more surgeries. Foot surgeries especially. They suck because you're immobile and, you know, I don't know. I just want to avoid that. So my point is, so I don't get off track, is, so, the waist, yeah. I had to figure out how to do that. My hips and butt have always been kind of on the bigger side or thicker side, so I just want to keep them from getting totally out of whack, you know. So I do the bike, I do the squats, my calves, you know, I just think of every part of my body that I could move or keep in shape, and I found an exercise that I knew I wouldn't back out of, you know, totally within range. I hate squats, and I hate all like butt exercises, but I know that like as you get older, you know, when I was younger I had the perfectly round butt. As you get older it starts to melt into your legs a little bit. So I mean, that's not a, you know, mandatory thing, but I'm like, you know what, I probably could stand to use to do some of those. So I don't like those at all, but I do them. And when I'm in a good rhythm, I can do about 100 of those too. I do it in like 25 sets, 25, and then I do as I did in my little circuit. What else? But yeah, I wanted to show a version of an everyday person in an everyday house with everyday problems, doing workouts for that everyday person, you know, and to try to help others to not be discouraged by what you might see on TV and realize if you can't understand that, or you don't feel like you can relate to it, then make your own, you know. I am certain that if anybody with training saw my videos, they would probably tweak me, correct me, warn me that I'm doing this wrong, but you know what, I've been doing it for a couple years and it's kept me in a very comfortable weight range where I'm not hurting myself, my joints. I'm actually physically tired when I'm done, so I know I'm working myself, and I just feel really comfortable with it. I don't feel like I feel like I'm giving a lot to the workout, and I feel it when I'm done, you know? So it's just what it is, and I think a lot of people wait for that perfect workout or perfect machine, but just do it, you know? Just as you see, the only equipment that I think I've used is this that I got from Goodwill for like $25, and I got it probably 8 years ago. And my weights that I purchased here and there, I don't use some of the other things that you see around here, and I use the stairs and my own body weight. But yeah, I think just as we get older, we really have to, as much as it sucks, to just take care of ourselves in any way that we can. My sister has a totally different shape than I do. She's small and petite, and I'm more, I don't know, I always want to say manly, but I'm just built sturdier, or I don't know, but she's very much a little lady, and she likes aqua aerobics, and that was her thing for a long time, you know, and I just have always liked walking, and really, that's all I really ever did until I got a little older, and then I started adding the weights, and you know, the sit-ups I guess I've always done. Planks are good too. Planks is another thing. It's you can tell that when you start to work out how hard everything is. And I guarantee, if you watch my video before this, that was day 1. Today's day 2. Day 1 is obviously always the hardest, but before you know it, you're going to be on day 20 and realize, like, holy shit, I'm up to 40 push-ups, or you know, just add a little bit as you go without causing pain. Good example. So yesterday was day 1, and I kept talking in that video about I want to walk tomorrow. I don't want to push it. So even though I told you how much I did at one point, I knew damn well that I wouldn't be able to do that today or yesterday. So I woke up today and I'm just sort of like, all right, I feel a little tight here, probably from my push-ups. Feel a little tight in my thighs from the squats. You know, I feel like I worked out, you know, for sure, on my waist. So today I wasn't able to do as many sets or reps as I did yesterday, but I just listened. There's no sense in pushing it and straining something. You might have noticed, it's probably hard because I do the time lapse, but I did my push-ups, and I did, yesterday I did 3 sets of 10, and today I couldn't do 3 sets. I did 2 sets of 10 and like 5 because I just couldn't. I could just feel. Plus I did the arms today, so a lot of the muscles that I was working with the weights, I could feel from what I was doing yesterday. But anyway, like I said, my whole reason is just to bring an average everyday person, like you would talk with your friend down the street, you know, and that's really all I was trying to bring here. And the reason why I'm sure people are like, oh my God, why would she show her nasty basement and her stupid workouts? Well, because someone out there might have a shitty basement too, and they might be in a rut where they don't really know how to start working out. So I'll throw my experience out there, and maybe they can pick up something from it. Same with my meal preps. If you've watched those, I am not a cook at all, but I need to eat and I love food. So I have high cholesterol, so I have to always watch that. I need a lot of fiber because I can't poop. So I have all these things that I didn't have before. So when I meal prep, it's very time consuming for me to figure out because I need so much fiber and I need to make sure my cholesterol is low. All the while, I don't want to go crazy. I want to stay within a certain amount of, calories. Plus, I want to make sure I have enough protein. That takes a long time to figure out the foods that you can have in a day. And so once I figure that out, I will rock that meal plan for as long as I can stand it. Most people can't do that. I'm lucky that I can. Just so happens that just recently, if you've seen my last meal prep, I was doing like a lean beef. I'm kind of sick of it now. So I'm thinking about changing it all up to shredded chicken something. But I really like to have the food ready to go, because I have zero willpower when it comes to a plate of donuts and it's 2 hours before dinner. I will tear that plate up. So I really like to have my stuff ready so I make good choices. And I'm such a tightwad, gotta watch the pennies. That usually keeps me from, I'm not gonna waste this. I spent good money on this. So anyway, I'm thinking of changing that up. I just don't really know a good recipe, a good 5-day meal plan for shredded chicken, but I'm gonna look that up, and then I have to put it in my carb manager, figure out if I'm within my range so I'm not over in my cholesterol and all that. That's a pain in the ass, but whatever. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's all. Just to know you aren't alone, and everybody is struggling with something. And if you ever feel your life's bad, just know there's someone else that has just as bad or worse, and to look at the positives. So if anything, if you like this video or like the way I'm real natural, maybe that's not going to be a very popular thing on YouTube. And if so, maybe YouTube isn't my thing. But if you like it and you encourage me to continue to be real, let me know. Because that maybe will inspire me to keep going. And if not, that's fine. I don't need to do this, but I thought, why not give it a try? I've seen so many as I scroll through there, and I'm like, I just can't relate to these people. So that's why I do it the way I do. Lastly, let's see. I talk about so many different things as I make my videos. It's hard to stay super focused, but I look at it like this. If you were with me in my kitchen or with me in the basement, we would be going all over the place with our topics as well. We're not doing anything for New Year's. I don't know about you guys. Are you doing anything? We're just going to chill. And not sure if you've watched my other videos. But my boyfriend Rob, let's see, Thanksgiving, we found out that he does have cancer, and we're kind of going through that life with learning how to manage our life while dealing with this new issue. The only update I have, the last I told you, was he had liver and bone cancer. It is treatable. However, he has neuroendocrine carcinoma, and it's very fast moving. And usually this cancer is found in the lungs and very slow moving. Well, his cancer is very fast moving and it's not in his lungs. They don't know where his cancer started specifically, but they're not very concerned with where it started as far as how they want to start attacking it. So his oncologist referred him to the University of Chicago, to the specialist there in neuroendocrine carcinoma. And they want him to get on a study because they've had success dealing with this type of cancer in the lungs. And like I said, his cancer is not in the lungs, but they have a very strong feeling that it could definitely be beneficial. The bad side of all this is his chemo will have to be done there, so it'll be a lot of traveling. But, you know, when you weigh the two, it's like, okay, so he'll have to go every month, every 3 weeks for 3 days in a row to get that done, and I'll go with him. A benefit of me working nights, I can go with him. And he's been working though. He's already had 1 round of chemo and he's worked through it. He didn't have any super bad side effects. Maybe he was a little tired, but that was it. And the doctors are like, go for it. I mean, if you can work, by all means. So hopefully that continues. The difference with this treatment there, this clinical study, is it's going to be the regular chemo with immunotherapy, I believe that's what it's called. The doctors feel that since he's had luck with the classic chemo, that he will probably be just as fine here, but everyone's different. And we're looking for his 2nd round of chemo coming probably in the next week or so. We're in the process of getting signed up with them and figuring out when our schedule will be so we can kind of balance our life out a little bit. But the, bad news or downside is this cancer will never be in remission per se. It'll never be gone. It'll always be there. So as hard as that was to hear, we had to hear it. And one of the nurses or doctors there kind of gave us a good way to look at it. And I thought, you know, just like diabetes, when you have diabetes, 9 out of 10 you have it for life. You have medication, you take it for life. You deal with it for life. That's what they said about this cancer. They can possibly shrink it, stop it, keep it at bay, but it'll never fully go away. They have to monitor it, just like you do diabetes. And when it comes back, you gotta fight it again. So we're hoping that in this study, differences will be made, and maybe they will find a breakthrough. I believe in miracles. So that's where we're at, and we're gonna go there in a little bit. So Happy New Year to us, but that's okay. We knew we had to go. And that's it. We're just gonna do what we have to do to get through it. And like I said before, if anyone, I'm not really sure I'm going to continue to talk about this because I don't want to open myself up to people that might, by the way, I went 8 miles, 30 minutes, and I burned 225 calories and my speed was 17 miles an hour. But I don't want to open myself up to negative things or things that will be planted in my brain. I guess I'm just sharing it because it feels good to me. And if anything, hopefully I'm helping someone by talking about what we're going through rather than me needing help. I have a different way about myself where sometimes when I have too much information, it gets me too overstimulated. And it's better that I take baby steps and swallow these things as they come, and I handle it better. But I am more so using this as a platform to just kind of talk, get things off my chest. But if you do have anything positive to say, or if you have advice to me that, you know what, I probably wouldn't air all this because in the end it doesn't, if you've been there, tell me, because I'll just pull that. there's no reason that I want to bring his personal life on this platform other than just to help people and help myself, I guess. So I don't know, if you have any advice on that, if you have bad things to say, just don't. But on anything else you can say it. If you want to say something bad about my workout, or go ahead, that doesn't bother me. But anyway, that's all. I have to get up there now and get ready to go. But I hope you all have a happy new year. I hope it brings you health, wealth, and success. And this new year has got to be better than last year, and I am looking forward to it. So I will see you on the flip side. Maybe my next meal prep will be the chicken, shredded chicken. And until then, have a great night. This thing doesn't work ever. Oh wait, hold on. I want to be cute when I end this. Hold on. Doesn't work. It's already dead.